Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lesia and today we're going to get back to talking about books, and I'm gonna share with you my first ever haul that I've done, and that's the first time that I went shopping big time for books. But first I'm gonna share with you a book that I got from a friend for my birthday. That was in July, but since I only got to St. Petersburg like a couple of weeks ago, I only got my present now, so I'm really excited to share with you all the goodies I got. So let's get into it! Alright, so the first thing that I'm gonna share with you is this book I saw it in Urban Outfitters while I was in Amsterdam, and this is the Enchanted Forest by Joanna Basford, which is actually like a coloring book for adults, and the adult part is basically explained with those beautiful patterns that kids would probably have a hard time fitting into, but it's really cute and it's really like fairy tale medieval kind of book style, and I don't know how I'm gonna color it yet, maybe with watercolors, definitely not pencils or crayons, but I'm not sure yet, but it's really beautiful. And I got it in Russian, which doesn't really matter because first of all, Russian is cool, and second of all, it's a coloring book, so the text is pretty minimal, so I'm super excited to discover how it's gonna go with me. And well, I'm just really crazy about, coloring. I haven't colored anything for ages, like probably, when I finished high school, that was like the last thing. But yeah, so that's really cool, so let's get on with it. But the second book that I got is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I got it while I was in Tallinn in a bookstore that I went to get the book of Jenny Han, but they didn't have it yet because it was like May, only a week after it got out, so they didn't have it there. So I went ahead and I bought another book anyway, and that's not a recent book or anything. It's a couple of years old by now. It's called The Fangirl, and it's about two sisters. Well, usually the focus is on one sister, but it's about sisters and they're twins, and they're going on to college, and they start separating, and because they've been together like all this time before, and they finally decide to hang out with different people, and one of the twins is really frustrated about it and she's trying to live her life to the fullest. But I only got through like a couple of pages. I put this book aside to wait with it. I don't know, wasn't quite in the mood, but I kind of like it because it talks about fandoms and it has all these like made up books inside it, like Harry Potter style with Wikipedia information, and I thought it was like really cool because I really love Harry Potter, and I was quite a bit of a fangirl myself, like participating in all these cool websites about Harry Potter and forums and playing games and all that stuff, so I'm really into the whole fandom thing, and I thought I would give this book a try. And also, this book is available in two covers as far as I know. One of them is this one in red, and the other one is in this minty color that the title is in right now. So I figured I'll go for the red one because it's less common and I kind of liked it more. So still waiting on this book, so that's an old one, but the rest of them are like I all bought in August, so the rest are really recent purchases. Alright, so the next read is The $100 Startup by Chris Guillebeau. I hope that's right, I'm not sure. So as you can see, I got my bookmark from Book Depository, a shop which I discovered like just in August, and I'm thrilled with the prices and the free delivery option because that's rare and that's really awesome. So I am quite interested in all kinds of business literature, so I figured I'm gonna start with this book and see how it goes because I'm like a student and I don't have a steady source of income yet, and which is why I'm really limited in my funds and in everything that I do, which is why $100 startup sounds like quite a good idea for me. But right now I'm in the middle, 50% through the book, and I really like it, but it's kind of mixed image, so I'm gonna talk about it in a separate video. But if you want like an inspirational read with some instructional material, well, that's a good book to go with. Next book that I looked for specifically was Refuse to Choose by Barbara Sher. So Barbara Sher is a life coach, and she was famous, well, she still is famous, but her books got out in the 90s or so, but they're still very relevant because they're great for people in all ages and in different walks of life who don't really know what to do with themselves. And a lot of students like me who just finished graduating or stuff like that, I'm just going into my last year, so the topic is really hot for me right now. We're not really sure what to do with ourselves after we finish, and this is a question that has been bothering me for 2 years or more already, and I'd love to solve it to find out what I'm actually best able to do, but at the same time I really want to do everything. So this is why I was really interested in this book, which is called Refuse to Choose. Use all of your interests, passion and hobbies to create the life and career of your dreams. So first of all, it sounds fabulous, but maybe you think that like one of those self-help books that don't have any useful material. But I had limited funds, so I really got into checking what kind of book I want. So I went to a store and I sifted through her books, and there were several really cool books, but I thought this was the one for me. So I sifted through it and I looked at the pages. So I made sure that this was the best suited book for me. And then I went on YouTube and I just looked for Barbara Sher, and I found excerpts from her master classes, like live workshops, and I really loved what she was saying. I mean, she's a great speaker, she can hold the audience really well, she can grip them, and she talks about stuff that's really dear to me. So I can't wait to finish this book. I haven't started yet. I'm gonna finish the $100 startup first, and then I'm gonna get to this one. But oh my god, I have a feeling that this one might actually be like life-changing. On we go, and this is a purchase from the Schiphol airport in the duty free, which was surprising because I wasn't really gonna buy anything. It's like was the end of my trip and I didn't want to buy anything, to kind of save the money. But I was just looking at the bestsellers and I saw one of them, like Marion Case, and I love her books. Rachel's Holiday is one of my favorite books in the world, and this is a book about Helen Walsh, which is a girl, one of the Walsh family that Marion Case is writing series about. It's like 5 or 4 books on the Walsh sisters, and this one is the last one. It came out in 2014. And it's gonna be like a mystery novel. Well, it kind of figures because it's called The Mystery of Mercy Close, and it tells us the story of Helen Walsh, which is who's a young girl who really likes to get into detective solving career type things. Oh my god, this sounds awful, but actually it's really cool. So basically, this is how it goes with Marion's books. She tells a story of one of the sisters, and then she gives glimpses of the lives of the other sisters, and that's why I know a little bit about Helen Walsh before I even started this book. And this is I'm kind of trying to fit all my Marion Case editions in one style, which is why I went specifically with this book, because it fits well with the others I have, because the others I have are like from 2005, even though I got them later, but those are the editions. So this one actually fits with the size and all. I don't know why it's so important to me, but I guess I just want to have a set because I really like her as an author. I'm sure this book is gonna be awesome because the summary doesn't give credit to any of the books of Marion Case. So I'm gonna let you know, and I'm gonna do a separate feature on Marion Case so you know who she is and what she's all about. The next book is Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy, and I got this book because I saw the trailer like in spring for the movie adaptation, and I was really excited because it looked really awesome, and I was waiting to get the book before seeing the movie, and I actually didn't know where the premiere was, and it figures that the premiere already was in the spring and I kind of missed it, but I got the book anyway. And usually I'm very opposed to getting books with covers from the movies, but since this is how I basically heard of the book, and please don't blame me, there's so many classics that it's kind of impossible to keep up with everything, so this is why I decided that this edition is gonna work for me. And it's got Bathsheba Everdeen on the cover, and this is actually an image from the book, and I've gotten through the book. That was a really tough read for me, but I'm gonna talk about that separately. But I finished it now, and I already watched the movie, but I finished the book first before watching it. And I can tell you that this is a really good story to read when you have like time on your hands, like for lazy evening reads when you want to fall asleep but you don't know what you should read, because there's a lot of descriptions and this is why it's a bit hard to get through, but it's a really good read, and I'm gonna tell you more about this book in a future video which is gonna come out really soon. I'm gonna film this after this feature. On we go to Thinking Fast and Slow by David Kahneman. And if you never heard of David Kahneman, and you might be wondering why am I holding such a boring looking book, well, actually David Kahneman is a psychologist and he's the first one to get a Nobel Prize, and actually there is no Nobel Prize for psychology, so he got his prize for a distinguished economic work, so he got his Nobel Prize in economics. And this is why I wanted to read this book. I mean, I have a very vague idea of what's it gonna be about. I got a glimpse of a review of Thinking Fast and Slow, but it was already after I got the book. So it's gonna teach you how to build your thought process to be more effective, and also it's gonna teach you to understand how human beings think, and that's always useful because you want to know what you're doing, you know, understand yourself more. So yeah, and I'm gonna talk about this book in the future, so I haven't started it yet. Another one for the shelf. And last but definitely not least is Haruki Murakami, 1Q84, a work of maddening brilliance, as I am assured by the Times. And actually, this is the name 1Q84 is supposed to be related to George Orwell's famous novel 1984. I wanted to read something by Murakami because he's so famous and he's like a really achieved author, and I wanted to know more about what he's writing, and luckily this was on sale, and these are actually 3 books, and it's really gonna be hard to read because this trilogy, oh my god, it's huge. I mean, how many pages? Oh my god, 1,400 pages or so, maybe less. So it's gonna be a very, very long read, but it's gonna be super exciting, so I can't wait. So that was all for my recent book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna get into making videos very, very often. And I actually have some difficulties with editing my vlogs because they really take a lot of time and take the right music, so I'm gonna put all my effort into that, and I hope you like what is gonna come out of this. So thank you very much, and till the next time, bye!